Hey, what's up, everybody? Rep here. Another episode, as I've dubbed Rep Rants. I want to talk a little more about this bullshit that's been going on over Twitch. I'd also like to give my buddy a shout out. He was my buddy Pine. He has a channel over at Twitch and YouTube as well. His username is I'm a porcupine, all one word. He said a while ago he always got a kick out of me going off on my little rants and tangents and stuff, and said I should do a YouTube series. I left a comment for him. He commented on the last video I made, I believe, so I wanted to give him some love. This is definitely something I can do if you guys are digging it. I've got a good response on this, not surprisingly, because I know a lot of people feel the same way that I do as far as Twitch goes, but videos like this I could definitely do if you guys are interested, or you enjoy it and enjoy hearing me go off and curse and give my opinions on things. But recently, we'll just recap very quickly. Twitch incorporated a audio matching ID software thing, whatever the fuck you want to call it, like YouTube has. The good news, which is very limited, is it's not affecting live broadcasts, which is kind of cool, I guess. But there's been major changes to the past broadcasts. Like all of these, I pulled one up the last time. The last stream I did was just Zelda 2. I don't believe any audio got blocked in that, but we can see because it was just game music. And I'll get into that in a minute also, because there was something that had changed. Yeah, there's nothing, no red here, so that's good to go. But like this video, they now have an appeal button. That was one of the changes. Look, I have 2 half-hour chunks that have audio, and I was showing off a sound mod for my truck in this. But because I was playing music, out of almost 5 hours, they allowed 1 hour of the video to not be completely muted. It's playing right now. You can see the timer going up. Absolutely no sound. You can't hear my voice. You can't hear anything. So anyway, the CEO came on Twitch's weekly thing. I will put a link to that in the description. I have that pulled up. It's twitch.tv/twitch/4860387. And like I said, I'll put a link to the description. Emmett Shear, the CEO of Twitch, excuse me. And I'll give him credit. He did come on and talk about things live, but he's a CEO, so basically, in my opinion, he's an automatic scumbag. And, you know, he just tried to make everything so light and happy and blah, 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 blah. And, you know, these are major changes. They've been in the work forever. And then he pulled the sympathy card for a while, you know, incorporating this identification software. It costs us money, and getting more room for hosting because we're going to improve the VOD system. That costs us money also, so we're spending money. Well, dude, you had a perfectly fine website. Spend the money on extra space and leave us the fuck alone. How about that, if you're going to spend the money? Don't try to get sympathy. But like I said, I'll give him credit. He's been around. He went on Reddit and talked to users. He did that live stream, took some live questions from the chat on that stream, as well as Twitter. I'll give him that. That's a very cool move in my eyes. A lot of people wouldn't do that, but still, we're in a bad situation here, because, in my opinion, one of the biggest draws of Twitch is gone. You know, and he kept saying we're doing this, and we're taking one step back, and it's going to allow us to take 2 steps forward. No, you're not taking 1 step back. You're taking 73 steps back and destroying your fucking site is what you're doing for people like me. I work stupid hours. I can't catch a lot of streams live. I have to watch the VODs. And anybody who's playing music during those VODs, I'm not going to be able to hear anything. Anything. When it's live, yeah, you can do whatever you want. They said they have no plans to change that. You can play all the music you want while you're streaming, blah, blah, blah. There's no issue. But if it goes on a VOD, it's going to be muted. So that's a huge problem for me. Huge. As far as game audio goes, this was some good news. Apparently, there was some kind of a screw up in the system. I mentioned, like Zelda 2, the Great Palace music was getting muted. You know, and that's in-game music. That's not, you know, playing different songs and stuff like that. But he had mentioned that was a bug or glitch or something in the system, and that's not intended to be blocked. They have the appeal button, as when I pulled up that other video here, you can see up at the top a big red appeal button. If you feel that it's being blocked and it shouldn't. So that's kind of cool. That's an improvement. But it's just, it's ridiculous. It really is. And there's another site that you can check out for some of the streamers. I pulled it up here. It's called mutedvods.com. So we'll just type in my channel name real fast and see what it comes up with. Just takes a minute. Okay. Almost 90% of my VODs have not been processed yet, which they probably won't because they're going to get pulled down in a few weeks anyway. As what's been checked, 959 minutes have not been muted somehow. I don't know. That's a fucking miracle in itself. And still, even though 90% haven't been processed yet, I have 5.2 more minutes blocked than not. Like this video, the one I just showed you, 79.2% of the video is muted, which is ridiculous. So you can see there's some of them here. I have a bunch of old VODs, but they're all going bye-bye in a few weeks anyway, which is something else I wanted to talk about. But you guys can check this site out, check out any Twitch user, and just see how much of their stuff is actually getting blocked. It's mutedvods.com. You know, and it'll give you a little bar here, the blue parts, I guess, what hasn't been processed yet. The green is not muted, the red is muted, so this is another thing I want to talk about, the VODs and how they're deleting them. So they made that announcement 3 weeks before the changes were to go into effect, to get some feedback, blah 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 blah. Cool, that's absolutely the way it should be done. Talk to your users, you know, get a feel, see what they think. I agree with that completely. I think that's a fantastic idea. Now all of a sudden, the muting of music, that goes in instantaneously with no warning. You know, and the CEO was saying there was, you know, a lack of communication or something. Bullshit. Bull fucking shit. That's something you knew was going to piss a lot of people off. Nobody was going to like it, so you just fucking did it, so you didn't have to hear anything. You just deal with the backlash. It's already done, nothing can be changed. That's my opinion anyway. How are you going to introduce two things pretty much at the same time? Give 3 weeks notice for one thing and absolutely no notice for the other. That's saying, boy, the fucking users ain't gonna like this shit. We're just gonna fucking throw it right on them. That's my opinion. Be it right, be it wrong, whatever. That's how I feel as far as that goes. I probably should have made a list of things I wanted to discuss. That was definitely one of them. He briefly mentioned the video, by the way, is it's about 35 minutes, I think, something like that. It's a little lengthy. Yeah, 35.5 minutes. So if you guys have time, check it out. It was interesting, and like I said, I'll give the guy credit for at least, you know, not hiding behind shit. But Another thing he mentioned that really pissed me off is the smaller streamers, somebody like myself. You know, I'm not absolutely minuscule. I have 579 followers. That fluctuates. People follow, unfollow, whatever. You know, he mentioned how he loves helping small streamers grow and promoting them, and that's the best thing when a small stream turns into a big stream, and that's a fucking crock of shit. If you're a small stream on Twitch, you will get no promotion, you'll get no help, you will get nothing. They give you baseline requirements for partnership, and I'm well under it. It's ridiculous numbers, but I applied just for the hell of it, just to see. Let's see here. Where's these baseline requirements they talk about? Send the application. Okay, here you go. They're saying people that just come to Twitch and just start, like if they're big over at YouTube or something, they can apply for partnership. Okay? They want an average concurrent viewment of 500 plus, not just a one-time peak. Regular broadcast schedule of at least 3 times a week. Content, blah blah blah, agrees to our terms. And they changed that. They wanted there used to be a thing in here for channel views as well, and followers. I believe they wanted 10,000. Was it 10,000 followers? I think something like that. But there's plenty of partners, and they do let people partners in with less than this. And a lot of the partners I know do not have anywhere near this. I know partners that have maybe roughly 100 concurrent views a stream. Plenty of partners do not stream at least 3 times a week. That's just what's left on this list. They changed this. So that's not helping the small guys either. And the people that I follow on Twitch that did get partnered, some of them waited over a month for everything to go through. Amazingly enough, I sent in my application, and 6 hours later I was denied. So that tells you how much they care about the small guys. They'll blow them off immediately, and the people that want to grow and become better, they make them wait over a month before everything's all set up. So that's a bunch of bullshit about the small streams. If you guys watch the video, you'll see all of that crap. Excuse me, but that just kind of rubbed me the wrong way and pissed me off. They're going to do some changes to the VODs. They were saying they're not going to limit the highlights to 2 hours, but still, your past broadcasts, 14 days if you're not a partner. That's it. And I believe partners are 60, and possibly Turbo users. Turbo is a monthly subscription to Twitch to block ads. Fuck that. Just use ad block. And another thing I'd like to mention, I don't know if they still do it, and I don't know if I mentioned it in any of my other videos or not. There's always an ad, an initial ad when you load a stream. And like say you go to my stream and load it up, the ad will pop up, and at least it used to, I don't know if it still does, it would say below the video. Like if I go to my channel's offline now obviously. Alright, load it up, and the first thing you would see is an ad, and down in this area it would say this ad directly benefits Rep 2369 or whoever you're watching. That also is a bunch of bullshit. The only people that see any kind of help, any kind of revenue from ads on Twitch are partners. And we already went through the whole partner thing and how quickly I was denied. So, I mean, you can see I'm not saying it's huge, but I have over almost 13,000 channel views and just short of 600 followers, and I haven't really been streaming, as you can see from my past broadcasts. I've streamed twice this month, or it's the 9th already. I was doing every 2 or 3 days for a while. But anyway, that's where we stand right now. This music identification crap is not going anywhere. It's staying right where it is. They said they had a plan for about 6 months. That's what the CEO said, to put it through. You know, and they're saying, you know, he said a lot of times mistakes are made, and they like to get things out there ahead of time. But sometimes there's miscommunications. Well, get your shit straight. Communicate with each other. If you're making changes, communicate with the users. You did it with the VOD system and they made changes. They're taking away the 2-hour maximum for highlights for speedrunners that do world records and stuff. A lot of games are longer than 2 hours. That's a good thing. But that's also because you announced it and you didn't just throw it on us. There's also, they do it for other things too that don't really affect because they're optional, like hosting mode. You can host other channels now. You know, say, I mentioned my buddy Pine earlier. I'm a Porcupine. Say he's streaming right now. I can go to my channel and type /host and his name, and I can host his stream. They just kind of dropped that on us. They didn't give us any notice. They just put it in the Twitch blog. Well, that's fine because it's an optional thing. If you don't want to host somebody, you don't have to, but it's an option that you have. That's fine if you just introduce something like that that's optional. Something that's forced upon people, you can't just drop it in their fucking face and think that you're not going to get a backlash for it. Especially something as big as this. That was the biggest draw of Twitch. Twitch was like a combination. It was a gaming site, and it was a combination of live streaming and like a YouTube video archive. It was perfect. People would play music and chill, chat with people. It has built-in chat. It was fucking fantastic, and they're just ripping it apart at the seams is what they're doing right now. In all reality, the only thing that isn't going to change is the live streaming, but at the same time that is going to change because people that want their VODs to be viewable and not muted, they're not going to play music like they used to. So that's a big problem. And there was something else I was going to mention. What the hell was I going to say? There was something there. Damn it. It's just in the top of my head when I was saying that, and I lost it. But yeah, it's going to even affect live streams now. There's plenty of streamers I know that are just... At one point, before they said there was a screw-up, and the game audio shouldn't have been muted due to music, there were streamers that were literally playing just like what I'm doing right now. They'd be playing a game and all you would hear is the controller or keyboard clicking because they were afraid everything was going to get muted, which is absolutely ridiculous. There's no call for that. That's not an enjoyable stream at all, in my opinion. But that's the latest. Like I said, I'll put a link to the interview with the CEO. Again, I'll give him credit. He did come out, he did talk, he answered some questions. Of course, he tried to make everything sound all positive and wonderful, and it's not. It's absolutely not, but he's a fucking CEO, so what do you expect? But as of right now, that's where we stand. Not really much has changed aside from the highlights being able to be longer than 2 hours. The length of that's what it was. The only other plus that's going to come out of this, which again isn't really a plus, is with these changes they're hoping to make videos on demand available on all platforms, better compatibility. Apparently overseas there was always issues with the VODs, whatever. They should have done that a long time ago. The videos are already there. Why the hell they won't play back on mobile devices, I don't know. But that's something that they're going to work on. They're looking forward to. It's a great change, but once again, people aren't going to stream the way they used to. They're not going to play their music because they don't want their audio muted. So how much of a benefit is it really at this point to have the VODs on mobile? That's been a big request of many people, myself included, for a long time. I really don't know why VODs were not available on mobile. There's apps for everything, you know, iOS, Android, the whole nine. There's apps, but you can't watch any past. If the person's not live, you can't watch them. So apparently they're gonna get on that too. But anyway, I've ranted long enough. Just giving you my opinions. Whatever new stuff has occurred. Once again, if you guys have the time, I know it's a little lengthy. It's 35.5 minutes. But check out the video. The guy came out. He did answer some of the public questions, but he's a CEO like anybody else. So, you know, he's gonna try to make everything bad sound good. They're all fucking scumbags and they're liars, in my opinion. That's how I've always felt, you know. Especially like with the 3-week thing for the VOD changes and stuff like that. If you're smart enough and have good enough communication to announce that 3 weeks ahead of time, then why wouldn't you do the other one? It's not due to miscommunication or whatever. It's because it's something that was not going to go over well with the public, and you didn't want to deal with 3 weeks of backlash before it happened. That's the bottom line. And again, there's no news. I don't know. From what I heard on this, there was no mention of Google, so maybe that really did fall through. I don't know. They said they were planning this 6 months in advance. Are they doing this because Google's going to be taking over and they don't want them, and Google said, you know, we don't want to have to deal with this shit when we take over your site? I don't know. But there was no mention of it. So that's pretty much where we stand right now. But definitely check this video out. I'll put a link in the description. And if you have, as I said, it's a little lengthy. It's about half an hour, little over half an hour. But if you guys have the time and you're Twitch fans like I am and want to hear the latest, this was Friday, I believe. Yeah, it's Saturday now, so a day ago would be Friday. But that's about it for me. I just wanted to give you guys my opinion, the newest news, what I thought about it. Give a little shout out to my buddy Pine. I've known him for years. He's a really cool guy. Check his Twitch channel out. I'm a Porcupine, all one word, over at Twitch. He has a YouTube as well. I'm not exactly sure if it's the same username, but I think it is. So check him out. I'm sure he has a link to his YouTube page on his Twitch channel. And that's about it for me. Thank you guys for the positive feedback. I know a lot of you, I kind of expected it for something like this. I know a lot of you are on my side and feel the same way that I do about this fucking bullshit, which is what it is. Utter fucking bullshit. But as always, leave me comments. I know Pine said he would love it. He loves when I start going off and sharing my opinions on stuff. And like I said, these are really easy videos to make. You know, fire the headset up, do a little screen capture, and just blah 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 for however long until I'm done talking. But if you guys dig this, I mean, we could do this. You guys can bring up any subject you would like. I'll talk about it. If you guys think it's cool, I'm gonna actually make a separate playlist for these videos. I think I don't want them to get confused with something else. I'm gonna move them. I'll just have like a rep rants playlist or something. I know my YouTube's a clusterfuck as far as videos go, so I try to keep my playlists separate and as organized as I can, so you guys don't get completely lost. But that's about it for now. Thanks again for all the comments and feedback. Much appreciated. Thank you guys for clicking that like button and subscribing to the channel. Welcome, as always, to all the new subscribers. I do appreciate it. And that's about it for me. So, any feedback or comments, hit me up as always. And that's about it for now. Alright guys, I will talk to you soon.